Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading for June of 2020. Today I'll be doing a version of the Celtic cross for you, a variation of the Celtic cross. I want to let you guys know that I do have an Etsy shop with handmade jewelry for sale. So it's Lunar Light and Shadow at Etsy, and the link is below if you'd like to go check that out. Today I am using the Mystical Manga Tarot. All right, let's see what we can see. Let's get a card for current energies for you, Gemini. Okay, we have the High Priestess for your current energies. The High Priestess talks about intuition. It can talk about remaining in an intuition. That, like remaining in something that is not finished yet, that you need to, still put your intuitive energies towards. It can talk about an elite state that only like certain initiated can like pass through. That's sometimes what it speaks to me as. Let's get a crossing energy for this. Okay, we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is the card of mutual love. The High Priestess can also speak of it's like the magician, but intuitively, inside yourself. So it's like, it can also speak about manifestation, but internally, like internal manifestation. There we go. That's the word. So what I'm getting here with this, with the Two of Cups and the High Priestess, is that Gemini, you are internally putting your feelers out for love, for a partner. This is something that you want, and it's something that you're using your intuition to find. So let's see what we can see. Let's get another card. This one for past energy, please. Okay, we've got the Three of Wands. Again, manifestation, putting your feelers out there, the law of attraction. The Three of Swords also, the Three of Wands also speaks about waiting for this. So you're in an energy of, putting your energy out into the universe to attract a good person for you. a good partner for you. Let's get a card for the immediate future, please. We've got the Ten of Wands in the immediate future, which can talk about burdens. It can also talk about the end of burdens, like you're reaching the end of feeling burdened down by this. Or it could mean that this is, this energy that you're putting out, you've been waiting, and you may have to continue waiting, and it might make you feel like burdened down. Tens are kind of like a cumulative energy in the suit. So the wands are action, passion. So actually, what I'm kind of getting with this is that, you've been putting out this energy, and, both action oriented and internally. And it's causing you to feel bogged down. Like you're carrying a lot of weight. Maybe some of that weight needs to be, psychically lifted. You need to release some of that weight and just, continue to be patient. So it looks like you've been patient in the past. Maybe you're sick of it, right? All right, let's get a card for hopes. Okay, we have the Five of Wands, or excuse me, can't talk today. Five of Swords. And that's in the hopes position. That's interesting. The Five of Swords talks about mental conflict. So in the hopes position, I'm getting that you're hoping for an end to this mental conflict, because the Five of Swords also talks about, there's an energy of this guy who's like, I win. I have 3 swords, and you guys have only 1 each. But if you look, and this is the same in a lot of tarot decks, is these two have laid down their swords. They've given up. They've said, you win. So I think maybe you're hoping to kind of reach that energy where you just let go of the battle about all of this, which is good. And that's what you're hoping. So let's get a card for fears. Okay, we've got the Four of Wands in the fears position. And as I was talking about letting go of this Five of Wands, excuse me, I keep saying that, Five of Swords energy, the Six of Wands popped out, which is the victory card. So, that just further kind of confirms that you're hoping for to achieve victory by letting go of this mental battle. Okay, so the Four of Wands in the Fears position. So with this, I'm kind of getting that you are, the reason why you've been putting out this energy and concentrating on it, to the point where it is causing you to feel bogged down, is that you eventually want to be married. You want to get married, you want to have a partner, you want to have a home, and you're afraid that this is not going to happen. You have Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. You're afraid that this offer is never going to come your way. Let's get a card for the strengths. Okay, so the strengths, we have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a stable energy. It's a mature, stable energy. So it's, it's an energy of you've reached your place of stability. You are in charge of your physical domain. And that's in the strengths position. So you've got that going for you. When people meet you and they get to know you, they, I'm sure, see that. They see that you're stable, you're grounded, you're ready. You're ready for this relationship, this partnership that you're seeking. And so that is very positive. Let's get a card for weaknesses. Okay, we've got the Empress as a weakness. Interesting. It's only goes into focus for a second and then goes right back out of focus. I'll have to look into that. So the Empress in the weakness spot this is Venus energy. The Empress talks about the ultimate in abundance, fertility, growth. And that being in the weakness position tells me that there might be, some of you may have difficulty with maybe expressing feelings of affection. Because the Empress talks about the ability to express feelings of affection. And Gemini is a sign of they're more intellectual. They're more, they live primarily in the mind rather than the emotions. So some advice, I think, with this situation, because the weakness spot, I usually get a lot of times I'll get advice from that. And that's, when you're meeting people, when you're speaking to people, try to tap in to their emotions. I mean, yours too, yeah. But if you're not a person who expresses emotions a lot, then that's not who you are, and you should never ever try to be someone that you're not. And maybe it's just been difficult for you to find somebody who is more in that energy like you are, more in the mind, in the mind energy. Gemini is a very responsive sign, and that's probably my favorite thing about Geminis, is that they respond to words and feelings and thoughts of other people, actions of other people. They're very responsive. And maybe try to be more responsive to others' emotions when meeting people. Maybe. I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting. And this could speak of a current connection. If you're in a current connection and you are, just trying to manifest a deeper connection with somebody, this may be an issue, is that there's, there's too much mind energy, not enough heart energy, possibly. And 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So and then the 3 of Pentacles, which talks about plans. Or maybe you, Gemini, have a more of a difficulty just kind of tapping into your heart emotions. Maybe you feel that you want to do that, and that's kind of what the mental battle has been about too. You feel like to achieve this ultimate emotional fulfillment here with the 10 of Cups, that this Empress energy needs to be embraced more. Let's get some advice. I'm going to pull 3 advice cards. Okay, we've got the Queen of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the World for advice. Okay, so what I'm getting with this is that when you do feel a spark of passion with someone, I'm really getting the urge to say, to communicate these concerns that you've been having early on. Because that is, to complete this cycle with the world here that you are, wanting to get past, whereas you're trying to find a partner, that you really jive with here. The quickest way to get to that point and to start find someone that you really want to start building with is to be very very communicative. I really have a hard time with that word. Communicative. There we go. Early on. The Page of Swords is air energy. It talks about swords talk about communication, thoughts, things of the mind. Pages can be in more of an immature energy, or more of a, like immature in the way of it's new. It's so early on in your meeting people, I feel that you need to be very communicative about about what exactly you want, because I believe that you know what you want with the Queen of Wands here. The Queen of Wands knows what she wants, and she is actively pursuing it. Like I feel like this is you right now. I can get that to focus for a second. Come on. Nope. Anyway, so the world is Saturn energy. Saturn strengthens a person's character through trial and difficulty. And I believe that, it's like I kind of, and it also represents beginnings and endings of cycles. And, and you don't get to the end of a cycle with the world that you haven't worked very hard to be there. You've worked very hard to get to the world point. But with the world, I'm really seeing that you've gone through one large cycle, and come to the point where you know exactly what you want, and you're manifesting it. And you just need to be very open with people about it. It's like you want to get this new cycle going. You've worked hard to become where you are in the way of you knowing what you want, and you want to begin this new cycle of meeting the right person and having that. But with the King of Coins in your strengths position, I believe that that this is coming to you. You know, you have the energy to give that to somebody, as well as having them give it to you, you know. Let's pull one more card. This is going to be an unconscious card. Something that may not be fully illuminated at this time. We've got the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups can talk about seeing a lot of different options in front of you, but it also talks about most of them being illusions. So that in the unconscious spot tells me that maybe you need to, or it would be beneficial for you to kind of narrow your emotional thoughts down to, because you know, I believe that you know what you want, and you know, and if somebody doesn't fit the criteria of what you want and you know is going to make you happy, just eliminate it. You know, you may have a bunch of different options here on when it comes to people to go out with, to date, people to choose from. So, you know, if that's the case, narrow it down. If that's not the case, for others of you, I kind of think that it's more of an emotional energy that's inside of you that you feel like you feel maybe like you know, there's a lot of different things to consider, options to consider, but, and really what I'm getting is just stay true to yourself. Stay true to the cups here that you know vibrate with you, and just leave all the rest of them. And you may not realize that this is happening inside. An energy of just an overwhelming sense of options emotionally. You know, again, do realize that not all of these are resonant truth with you. All right, that be it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this reading brought you some insight, some enlightenment, some laughs, maybe even. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions. And if you have comments, please leave me some comments. Like, share, subscribe. And I will see you next time, Gemini.